The discovery. In a quaint little village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there lived a young girl named Emily. Emily loved to paint. She wasn't the most skilled artist, but her passion for colors and creativity made her stand out. Every day after school, she would run to her favorite spot by the river, where she'd spend hours with her paints and brushes, capturing the beauty of the world around her. One afternoon, as Emily was packing up her things, she noticed something shiny partially buried in the sand by the riverbank. Curious, she dug it out and discovered an old, ornate paintbrush. It was unlike anything she had ever seen before, with a handle that gleamed in the sunlight and bristles that shimmered with every movement. Emily, this paintbrush feels special. I wonder who it belonged to. Deciding to take it home, Emily carefully wrapped the paintbrush and tucked it into her bag, excited to try it out the next day. First stroke of magic. The following day, Emily couldn't wait to use her new paintbrush. She sat by the river, set up her easel, and dipped the brush into her paint. As she began to paint, something extraordinary happened. The strokes she made on the canvas seemed to come alive. Blue of the sky sparkled as if it were real. The green of the trees swayed with an unseen breeze, and the river on her canvas shimmered as if the water was flowing right out of the painting. Emily blinked in disbelief. She reached out and touched the canvas, and to her amazement, her fingers felt the coolness of the water she had just painted. Emily, this paintbrush, it's magical. Excited and a little scared, Emily continued painting, testing the limits of what the brush could do. Every stroke brought her images to life, turning her paintings into reality. She painted a flock of birds, and they flew off the canvas into the sky. Painted a garden, and it grew lush and vibrant around her. The word spreads word of Emily's magical paintbrush soon spread throughout the village. People were amazed and began to gather around her as she painted, watching in awe as she brought things to life. Emily used her new power to help her village. She painted food for those who were hungry, flowers for the elderly to brighten their days, and even mended the broken fence of the local school by painting it whole again. However, not everyone was pleased. A wealthy man named Mr. Grumble, who owned most of the land in the village, saw the brush as a way to make himself even richer. He approached Emily with a sly smile. "Mr. Grumble, my dear, you have a gift. Imagine the wealth you could acquire if you used your brush for the right price. Why, we could be partners." But Emily, with her kind heart, refused. "Emily, this paintbrush is not for making money, Mr. Grumble. It's for bringing joy and helping those in need." The greed of Mr. Grumble. Angered by Emily's refusal, Mr. Grumble devised a plan to steal the paintbrush. One night, he crept into Emily's house and took the brush while she was asleep. The next morning, when Emily woke up to find her paintbrush missing, she was heartbroken. Meanwhile, Mr. Grumble wasted no time in using the brush for his own selfish desires. He painted a grand palace, which appeared right before his eyes. He painted vast fields of gold, a sparkling lake filled with rare fish, and the most luxurious clothing. But as he reveled in his newfound wealth, something strange began to happen. Things he painted began to lose their luster. The gold turned to dust, the palace crumbled, and the lake dried up. The magic of the paintbrush, it seemed, only worked when used with a pure heart and good intention. Desperate and frustrated, Mr. Grumble realized his mistake. He had misused the magic and was now left with nothing. He returned to the village, humbled, and sought out Emily. The return of the paintbrush. When Mr. Grumble returned the paintbrush to Emily, he apologized, admitting that he had been wrong to try and exploit the magic for his own gain. "Mr. Grumble, I'm sorry, Emily. I was blinded by greed. I see now that this paintbrush was never meant for selfish purposes." Emily, understanding the importance of forgiveness, accepted his apology and took back the paintbrush. She knew that the magic had to be used wisely and with a kind heart. With the paintbrush returned, Emily resumed her painting, but she was now more careful with how she used its power. She continued to help her village, but she also decided to teach others about the importance of using their talents for good. Conclusion: a legacy of kindness. Over time, Emily became a beloved figure in her village, known not just for her magical paintbrush, but her generous spirit and kind heart. She painted not just to bring things to life, but to inspire others to see the beauty in the world and to use their own gifts to help those around them. The story of Emily and her magic paintbrush became a cherished tale passed down through generations, reminding everyone that true magic comes not from power, but from the goodness within. And so the village thrived, not just because of the magic of the paintbrush, but because of the kindness that it brought out in everyone.